So, CCB update, Friday, the 12th of June. Come on, listen to this. The Son, Jesus, is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. For he is before all things, and in him all things hold together. And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning and the firstborn from among the dead. So in everything he might have supremacy. Jesus has got it covered. He is before. In him all things hold together. You know what? Things have been a mixture, haven't they, in lockdown? He has been in charge. Things are easing. He is in charge. Things look uncertain. He will be in charge. What a comfort. And so what he's saying to us on this Friday morning, almost 12 weeks in, he's saying, let's stay close to him. And we'll be fine. Update on the church. From the news, you'll see that there's some changes that are around in relation to churches being open for private prayer. For us, we've taken the decision not to open yet, partly because we're doing some work in the church itself. Some redecoration, we're doing up the ceiling, we're doing up the walls, we're doing various bits and bobs around the place. I hope you'll enjoy it. I think you'll find it an improvement. We're doing up the lighting and that sort of stuff, which is going to be extremely cool. But we are going to be doing live streaming for the foreseeable future. We're aware that many are still vulnerable, many are still unable to come out, whether old, whether young, whether they're shielding, wherever it might be. We're also aware that in the light of all these restrictions and hygiene and health situations, it may well be that for a time the gathering of people is going to be difficult. And the idea of people having to be sort of signed in, or the idea of people actually having to come along for certain periods of time, social distancing rules, maybe no singing, separate entrances, maybe no use of toilets. To me, it's not really church. And so we're waiting for the time, led by God, as to whether that may be right, what that might be. But I just want to share with you that that could well be towards the end of the year. So sort of later rather than sooner. But watch this space and pray that we can be led by the Spirit in relation to these things. But don't worry. We still want to keep you connected. Of course, there'll be Sundays at 10 o'clock, ccbarnet.tv, which will carry on in its brilliant way that I hope you've been enjoying and connecting. Think of this Sunday, we've got Super Sunday with the Bishop speaking, and it's going to be an excellent time. Each day there's going to be the daily challenge, rhythms of prayer. The community, we've got the Padlet board, we've got encouragement, we've got fun ways that you can be involved and you can contribute into those things. Please do take advantage of that. If you're if you're a kid or families, Julie Lewis has done an incredible job trying to keep people involved with resources and whatever, and particularly a new resource called Faith at Home. This week it's on humility. Absolutely brilliant look at humility and ideas and resources and fun things you can do as a family. Please do take advantage of that. Connect groups. These are so important, these groups. And they've been an absolute boon in this time as we've been trying to keep one another connected and encouraged. Please do, if you are not part of a Connect group, tell us, and we would love to place you in a Connect group. And then we're going to try some new courses online. Watch out this space in relation to that. We're trying to think how best we can do it. Help and support for us as we build up to when we come back together and the new normal, if you like. So areas like sharing our faith, areas of financial management, how to understand the Bible, areas of things like mental health, just preparing and getting ourselves in the zone for the future. Other news as well in relation to last week, we talked about the importance of diversity and being truly inclusive as a church. And we want to set up a team that will look at diversity and inclusion for all, whether it's people of colour, whether it's in the area of singles, whether it's the area of disabled and other areas, so that we can truly be a church that is for one another and supporting and encouraging one another. I just want to say as well that we got some interviews next Saturday, the 20th, in terms of a pioneer youth worker. So do pray for that, the interviews and everything tied up in that. That's a real step of faith for us. And in relation to that step of faith, this is going to be a big step up in terms of our finances. Now, our finances inevitably, in terms of things like lettings and some of our occasional offerings, have taken a bit of a hit. And so I want to encourage you to consider, if you occasionally give, to consider giving regularly online. If we could up the number of people who regularly do that, that would give a great help to us in terms of planning, in terms of looking ahead as we plan. So if you go to Church Life on the website, for example, and go down to give, it gives you indications about how you can give online in a regular way. That would be an absolutely fantastic help to us as we look ahead. And so, as we're thinking about all these things, I want to go back just briefly to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Some great readings by different people. Do grab hold of those, 5 o'clock every single evening. But one particular quote I want to give you to finish. And it's from chapter 8. It's about Aslan, the lion, who's the central character, who is a reference to Jesus. And it's a conversation between one of the children involved and the beavers. Aslan is a lion. The lion, the great lion, said Mr. Beaver. "Ooh," said Susan. "I thought he was a man. Is he quite safe? I shall feel rather nervous about meeting a lion." "Safe," said Mr. Beaver. "Who said anything about safe?" "Of course he isn't safe, but he's good. He's the king, I tell you." This is the Jesus we worship. Aslan is on the move. He's not safe, but he is good. He is the king, I tell you. God bless you. See you soon.